There were certain aspects that were left out of police reports. There was certain evidence that should have been presented in court that was never brought up. There's certain evidence that was tucked away intentionally. There's too many questions that have no answers. At what point do we say, okay, listen, if you did do it, I think you served enough time. And if you didn't do it, we apologize. And it's probably time for you to go home. This is a book review for the book Cellmates by Tori Marlan. It is a part of the Southside collection. I listened to this book with Kindle Unlimited's Read and Listen program. It was a very short story. It's 48 pages. The book overview says one prisoner's 90-year murder conviction becomes another prisoner's crusade in this ongoing true account of an unlikely friendship forged behind bars in the enduring power of hope. For 17 years and counting, Robert Chatler has made good on his promise to help exonerate his former cellmate, Lee Harris, who he believes was baited and duped by Chicago PD and buried by the false testimony of a bribed witness. In this emotional story of courage and trust, suspicion and sacrifice, the award-winning journalist Tori Marlan reveals the uncanny friendship powering an impassioned fight for justice. It came out August 28th of 2018. It falls under urban sociology, politics, and social sciences. Kindle singles. This book does have some pictures in it of the actual people that are in this book and that are affected by different events. We're not going to pretend like the police department does not have a history, an ongoing history of loading up cases to get a conviction. This man was hit with a sentence of 90 years for a murder that he did not commit. This man was lured in by being told, if you just say, I witnessed the crime, we can let you off on some of the petty charges that you have. You can help us build this case at this point. We just want you to lie and say what you did. There were two detectives who are named in this book, and one of them is named several times throughout. I believe his name was Detective Charles. I may be wrong because I listened to this book over a week ago. This detective kept telling him, we are close. We are close. We just need you to come in and write another statement. They had this man come in at least almost 10 times, if not more, to revise his statement. Say what you saw again. Oh, did they have a gun? Oh, okay, they didn't have a gun. Okay, this time it was someone wearing a hoodie. Okay, this time it was someone wearing a jacket. They kept giving him more and more information to say while he was writing his statement, while he was saying his statement on camera, to the point where it went from just lying and saying, I witnessed this crime, to all of a sudden saying, well, I was close enough to witness it. I was close enough to possibly be a part of it. He gets hit with 90 years and he's like, how? What happened? Like, yes, someone was brutally murdered. Someone is not alive that should very much so be alive, well, and walking the face of the earth today. Do I feel like this sentence was way too heavy? Hell yeah. 90 years is a sentence you give for someone that is like a serial killer. That's something that you give to someone who has been wrecking havoc on their community so bad that we need to make sure you never see the light of day again. Once you start hitting someone with 90 years, I feel like you should ask them, would you rather have the death sentence? Because there's no chance that I'm getting out. 90 years without the chance of getting out? That is insane. This wasn't a young man that this situation is involving. I want to say he was like in his 30s or 40s when he got picked up. His cellmate is someone he ends up drawing a relationship to. And the cellmate starts to tell him, when I get out, I'm going to look into what happened with you. And I'm going to see if I can help you. Now, a lot of promises get made in jail. So he's not actually expecting this man to get released and actually remember him. When Robert Chatler is saying like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to come back. Lee is not really, he's not moved by it. How many people have sat here and said, I'm going to come help you? How many lawyers have taken on his case and been like, I'm going to find the loopholes and I'm going to get you out? People make a lot of promises in jail and in prison. And I think a part of it is to pass the time, or also maybe they really do have good intentions on helping out the people that they meet in jail or helping out this person to get a lesser sentence. But sometimes people get out and life starts happening, and all of a sudden you realize, I need to focus on making it to tomorrow. You might accidentally forget that person that you met in jail. Lee also does not, this is not a man that has a super shining background. He has a history of lying something terrible. He has a history of just lying compulsively. He has been a liar since he was a child. So it is hard for some people to believe this man, because when you ask old friends and old family members, they'll be like, yeah, Lee used to lie all the time. And that's the trouble with struggling with addiction. If you have addiction issues, if you have an issue with lying really bad, even when you are telling the truth, unfortunately, once you're in court and they start pulling up these people that are supposed to be a witness of your character, when too many people don't have positive things to say, although there's many people that may feel like you were wronged to get hit by a 90-year sentence, once they start hearing about how much of a liar you were, some people just don't want to get involved. Even this journalist, the author of the book, was saying how she reached out to the detectives, and many people are already saying, we don't really remember that detective. We really don't remember working with them. She tried reaching out to the detective themselves. I want to say that she said at the end of the book that the requests and things went unanswered. I believe she tried reaching out to the police department. Things have gone unanswered. This man is still in jail today. And I do think this is one of those situations of, can we get this man pardoned? It's been like 30 years. Okay? It's been like 30 years. At what point do we say this sentence was excessive? The man is now in his 60s, 70s. Who is he going to harm? And not to say it that way. I'm not saying it that way. Like, we don't got 60, 70-year-old serial killers that used to roam the face of the... I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, when and where do we start to show mercy with some of these super long sentences when we know for certain that there were certain aspects that were left out of police reports? There was certain evidence that should have been presented in court that was never brought up. There's certain evidence that was tucked away intentionally. There's too many questions that have no answers. At what point do we say, okay, listen, if you did do it, I think you served enough time. And if you didn't do it, we apologize. And it's probably time for you to go home or to go to whatever. When these people are wrongfully convicted, you can offer them $1 million. You can offer $3 million. There is nothing you can give a person after that many years of being locked up. I don't give a damn if it's been 2-3 years. There's nothing you can give someone to make up for the time lost. You can say, well, this is how much money you would have been making. What about the fact that my grandmother died while I was in jail? What about the fact that I missed out on my daughter's graduation or my son's graduation, or I missed out? There are certain moments that you miss out on when you're locked up for that many years, wrongfully convicted. There is no dollar amount that can make you right. There's no dollar amount that can give me back the opportunities and the moments missed. Now that I have this 30, 40, 50-year conviction on my record, where am I going to get housing at? What job is going to hire me? What is this man supposed to do? Like, and it's one of those cases where if it was not for this book, I would have known nothing about it, because I'm not from Chicago. I am from up north. I'm from New York, but it's not a case that I heard about. And there's so many instances where books like this have to bring it to light. You have to bring it to the forefront, because if not, a lot of times we just don't hear about it. Shit, Diddy is just now getting arrested after 25 years of doing whatever they're saying this man was doing. I want to know who counted all those bottles of baby oil is what I really want to know. I want to know who sat down and was like, 454, 455. Like, y'all did way... Maybe they were just passing the time. Point is, this case needs to be revisited. It was eye-opening. I do plan on reading other books that are in this series. There's one titled Payback by Natalie Y. Moore, The Gun King by John H. Richardson, The Waiting Room by Nicole Gonzalez Van Cleve, and I know I already have that on my Kindle Unlimited library. And then The Hustle of Kim Fox by Steve Borgaria. Now, this book, Cellmates, was 67 minutes to listen to. I am excited to read the other books in this series because a lot of times they get bunched together so well that you understand why this collection was necessary. I think this collection is aiming to tell a lot of untold stories that just need a lot more eyes focused on them. So I am excited about it. If you have not already subscribed and followed my channel, you are missing out because I do drop book reviews at least 2-3 times a week. I read books of urban fiction, psychological thrillers, sometimes manga, books like this that are telling true stories. I don't really dibble and dabble in poetry as much just because I haven't read a book of poetry that has truly moved me to its core in a very, very long time. I also enjoy reading memoirs. You can drop book recommendations down below of books that you think I would enjoy. I love a good book that's under 200 pages because I have a short attention span. If you know books that are on Libby or that are on this Kindle Unlimited Read and Listen program that Amazon has going on, you can recommend those to me as well. I also have my book, My Favorite Ex, is still free on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. It is a short story book of urban fiction. It's just my way of saying thank you to everyone who has supported me over the years. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Are you tired of feeling overwhelmed with marketing your book? Imagine having a team of experts dedicated to promoting your work while you focus on what you love, writing. Our book promoting services are designed to alleviate the stress of marketing and allow you to reach a wider audience. With our tailored strategies and proven results, we can help you to boost your book sales and visibility in the book community and crowded market. Let us take care of the promotional efforts while you concentrate on what you do best, crafting your next bestseller. Alleviate and elevate your author brand and stand out in the competitive world of publishing with our services that are specialized in marketing solutions. Partner with us and watch your book soar to new heights.